Welcome, everybody. Today, I have a special guest with me, Lexy Pantera,
What's
who
up?
just is here to share her story dealing with Crohn's disease, which no one really knew that beforehand.
I didn't even know.
I didn't even know it. And you've come so far and so long. And Lexi and I have been working on getting her symptoms away and getting her healed from Crohn's disease for the last year. And she's had incredible success. And we're here to talk about what worked, what was her experience, what was it like to be on the road, traveling as a singer, songwriter, dealing with GI issues, and what's it like
Right.
for a lot of people who are hiding this severe issue and then trying to get on with their careers and their lives and do what you do,
It's
right?
been mind blowing. It's been a very long and good journey. Just stuff I didn't know. And you're, like you said, like people that go on tour, and I could see how they can't go on tour and how, like, it
Yeah.
affects you so much. And a lot of people just don't know that people have it. I didn't know this was a thing. And so many people have it.
And, what was that like? I mean, how old were you when you first got diagnosed?
I mean, I guess I got diagnosed like what was it, like 3 years ago or something like this. But
Hmm.
I mean, I've had the symptoms, I feel like, most of my life that I didn't know,
Hmm.
even since I was little, like with my gas problems
Hmm.
since a baby.
Yeah.
My mom would be like, you'd always cry and grr, grr, like we didn't
Yeah.
know what it was.
Yeah.
And then I'd always have stomach problems, just like pains and gas and bloating.
Hmm.
It kind of started there.
Hmm.
And then it moved forward with the loose stool, and then it started getting worse with the no appetite and those sweats and cold sweats and things at night,
Losing weight a little bit. I
losing weight, not knowing
think you were
how, and then
saying
gaining weight and
energy.
then losing weight because I was overeating, and that energy was low. Yeah, sleeping a lot. And going through school, I
Pain.
remember when I was younger, I was like, God, why am I always so sleepy?
Yeah.
In school, I could not stay awake. I'm just like, I am so tired all the time. Like,
That's so interesting. That's exactly
and
how
I
I
had no
was.
idea why. I was like, are all kids like this? Like all teenagers that were like this, all young 20s like this? I'm like, why am I so tired? I'd be asking my friends like how their energy was, and I just felt like it was never the same.
Mm.
I'd always have energy. I'm always energetic, but just tired.
So that was 3 years ago. What was that like for you when they finally came in? They did the colonoscopy, endoscopy, and they said, you have this incurable disease. You're gonna have it for the rest of your life.
I was like, okay. And I went to a doctor, and he was kind of like, I'm almost like a holistic. He kind of called himself like a holistic doctor, and he liked more holistic ways, but he put me straight on some medication. I don't even remember, benzo something.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, am I supposed to just take these pills for the rest of my life? Like, are you kidding me? So I would start taking them. And then this is probably my bad, but I would take them for like a month and then I'd stop because I was like, oh, it's gone. It's fine. It's done.
Mhm.
I don't want to take them anymore. And then it'd come back, and then I'd go back on it. And then it'd come back, and then I'd go back on it. And I'm like battling these things, but I just didn't like the fact that I had medication in my body. I always try to do more holistic ways, and I just didn't want to be on medication. And so I stopped for a while. Then it got really bad. Then I started getting just way more symptoms.
Mhm.
And I was in the studio in LA, just dying, probably literally crying. And I called Charlie. I'm like, God, like I don't know what to do. He's like, oh, I know somebody. I should have brought it up to him way before. I was like, oh, he's like, oh, I have the perfect person. And it was Dane. And I called you in the studio, and I was tearing. I was crying. And I remember sitting on the steps, moving away from everyone. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, and I had found a doctor before that was just not I felt it was just not the right thing for me.
And I remember you were saying that you actually started getting some more like bowel issues,
More
like
symptoms.
even 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So I remember you were like 7 days in of not eating at all, just liquids, losing weight, energy was down, the symptoms were getting worse. You had even more sharp pains.
Yeah.
And it was made with a whey isolate protein. And we were thinking, I don't, and that's not always going to work for everybody, that type of protein.
Right.
And I remember you were miserable. And one of the things
it's hard to remember sometimes because I'm so good. I'm like, oh
you
damn, I was really going through it, like
were,
a lot.
but there was a lot. I mean, and I think the two things everyone I want out there when you're looking for something or help is that I think me and Lexi found is you want to build trust and integrity with whoever your community is and whoever your coach is. And I remember I called when we talked, it was a Saturday. I don't work on Saturdays. Charlie called in and say, hey, can you do a favor here? I was with my son and my wife, and we were out kind of vacationing. My wife was
And I knew
rolling
how
her eyes at
serious you
me.
were, And you know how serious I was? Yeah. And I felt that. I was like, damn, like he's
Yeah.
he's somebody that can care and does care at the moment. So I was like, I'll give you all my money. I was like, take whatever you want. And you're like, it's not all about that. Then you taught me a lot that's not all about that. And also that it had to do with your mentality of things and your emotions and what you're going through in life.
Yeah.
He's basically been my life coach at the same time, which is a part of the Crohn's process and healing and stuff.
Well,
thank you.
You're welcome. And you've done amazing. And I remember when we, one of the things with that first functional doctor you did is they did an array of really good lab work. I was really happy that they did that. And we saw high calprotectin. We saw a few issues going on in your blood work, like I think your CRP was a little bit high. And there was a few other markers that were showing maybe a little bit of anemia. You were a little bit underweight. And it was, we at least had somewhere to start on that.
Right.
And you were very convicted in saying, I'm really going to do this. And when we started looking at your mindset or your spirit, it was a lot about how can we rebuild the idea of normal? You were on a plane all the time. You were constantly at different shows. You were commonly staying up till 2 a.m.
It's a lifestyle change.
It's a lifestyle change.
Trying to keep what I do have and what I want and what I love to do, but making sure it's a healthy balance of what it is, for sure.
And I remember one of my favorite parts of your experience is I was like 3 weeks in, and you started feeling like you kept saying you were like elevated. You're in this high.
Oh man, you were
meditating. You were like getting rid of all the crap out of your system.
Yeah. I was feeling on a high. It was a high for sure.
And
that's interesting.
And this is not for everybody. This doesn't happen everyone, but how quickly do you think you started seeing results?
I mean, after the shake stuff, it was pretty
when we built that original plan
quick,
for you,
fast,
within 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Your body responded very quickly to getting rid of the trash, getting rid of the toxic substances.
I love good food, but my whole life I've been eating just trash. Candy, I love candy, sugar, chips and
burritos,
bread. Oh God, so much.
And I think also one of the things when you go so drastic, so I'm not going to eat anything. I mean, you were trying to get on planes.
I was
trying to bring this powder
I was afraid though, I was to the point of I'm not going to eat anything. I was like, what do I eat? I'm not going to eat anything. I was afraid of food at that point too.
But that was one of the things that took a little bit more time, was to get your weight back.
The weight was a big deal for me. Yeah.
It took a bit.
I wanted my butt back.
You wanted your butt back.
I need my booty. Because I was losing. That was actually the pains. It was normal for me. So I can handle the pains in my stomach, whatever. Yeah. But the losing weight and not having any appetite, I can't even get down food or swallow. It made me cry. I was just so upset about it. And I'm like, how is this possible? What's going on with me?
How important was it to have a coach or be in some kind of program or community? Do you think this is something you could have done by yourself, or just Google or?
No. You need somebody that really knows their stuff. No, I suggest a program or something. Yeah, and the willpower to do it. You got to be strict. But no, I don't think Google or TikTok would have done. It would have put me in a million different directions. I would not have known anything of what to do, and I probably would have done the wrong stuff. And people just kept saying eat healthier. And so cool. I was eating my salads and my fruits and my vegetables and all these things, but honey, it was not getting better. I'm like, I'm eating so healthy. And this was right before I met you too. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I don't understand. I'm eating all these healthy foods, and it just was not about that. I've learned, it's about the heat that it's cooked on. It's about how fast it's cooked. It's about the oils. It's about what you're eating, when you're eating together, what not to eat together, eating the skins of things, how soft things are. Yeah. And then obviously all the emotional state of you, but.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're on a diet now?
No, I'm not on a diet. No.
That's what I'm always looking for. When I work with someone, I want them later on to not feel like they're on a diet. Dude, we got such great results, which again, we can't get for everyone as perfectly as we did with Lexy, but you just started getting such great results. Your pain went down drastically quickly. Your bloating went down drastically quickly.
Right.
Your calprotectin, I think within 4 months, we had it at a 0.
Yeah, that was
crazy. It came back undetectable. And then as you were doing that, one of the big things that can happen is you start healing the body. Did you find that your tolerance of different foods went up?
Yeah, tolerances feels almost normal. But I know when I do mess up, if I'm on a little bender, whatever you call it, eating the shitty food I'm not supposed to be eating. those things will come back, but not as much as what it used to be. No, because my body's built up like, okay, we can handle this. If you want to eat this, we can handle it. Yeah.
Like instead of like 100% this is terrible, it'll be like a 15%.
Yeah, maybe I'll get one symptom or whatever.
Thing.
Yeah. I'm like, God, it's life changing.
But you went on benders. I mean, so that's the thing. A lot of times I would never recommend, but she's traveling all around the world. She's at shows doing all this stuff.
And that's hard. That's hard to keep on this food philosophy situation.
Yeah. Or your supplements or herbs.
Oh, yeah. Like, you got to take the herbs with you, the supplements with you. You got to take all these things in a box. He taught me, put the ice pack in and you take it on the plane with you, and you can have, airport food is just absolutely horrendous, and I can't find barely anything to eat besides some fruit in there. So I would pack my shakes. Those have been amazing. The elemental shakes have been I love them.
Well, that's what happens over time when you deliberately eliminate alcohol, eliminate sugars, get rid of those seed oils.
The sugar and oil is
when you're at home, you've always been eating great. The problem is the travel was a little bit, your S.H.I.E.L.D handled it, but when you get home, you reset. I know that your probiotics were really big for you too.
I love the probiotics. I just feel like he's like, I'm at the point where he's like, you can take them like not every day. I'm like, I'm every day because I know it's been working. And I'm like, no, I feel good. Like I can tell that I like them. My body likes them.
And that's so key, because I think something that got us to where you are, where I feel really confident in your health, is you're taking what you want to take. Not necessarily what you have to take. You've had plenty of stints where I didn't take anything for a week. I didn't take anything
for sure.
You're fine.
Yeah.
So there's this balance of getting rid of the fear and doing it out of desire.
Yeah, the fear is a big one.
Yeah.
You gotta just get rid of the fear.
It takes work.
Yeah.
But that as your lab work gets better, as you maybe miss a few days of doing some protocols, as you have a celebration meal, because we don't cheat in this program, we celebrate.
Celebration meals, honey.
That's it.
I eat those.
And here's the deal.
And now I'm telling all my friends and family about these things.
Yeah, because
I'm like, it's a celebration meal, aunt. Like my aunt's going through a detox and all these things right now.
So she's
trying to teach her these things.
Meals. No, celebrations. And one of the things I think with you that really helped is we always weighed risk versus reward. It's not something where it's demanded of you. It's saying this is what it does. This is the pros and cons. And this is why we should do it. What do you think? Because I want Lexy to be empowered.
Right.
And I think you did. There's a lot of confidence in choosing it. You don't just do what people tell you to do. You get advisors who help you be the leader of your own health.
Yeah.
And I think that's where your safety comes now, because there are many weeks where it's like I haven't talked to you for a month or something like that, and you're good because you've had enough moments where you know what to do.
Yeah.
And luckily, again, your body responded really well. I know a lot of people out there are not, where they're saying if I slip up once, my body's going to freak out.
Yeah, you guys are in luck though, because you got him.
And the
lifesaver, you guys. Like, oh my God. And like I said, the amount of people that have it that I didn't know, and like I'd mention it now and I bring it up to people because I just feel like you wanting to help people because I feel for them. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I run into people all the time with these problems and I try to give them my advice, and then I just send them over to you. I'm like, Dane, gotcha.
A few things about your success. I mean, you got results quickly. It doesn't happen for everyone, but you got results quickly. You've been good for about 10 months, 9-10 months, been feeling good. Maybe longer.
Maybe longer now.
I think it's maybe a little, it's got to be close to a year. Maybe
I think it's been when was this? Yeah, it's been at least a year, I think.
So yes. So it's around there. You've been feeling good for a very long time. You've tested it. You did a follow-up CT scan as well. They didn't see any problems in the ileum.
I said, are you sure?
Yeah, you were like, are you sure
this
is good? Because we got on the phone with the doctor. We want to do more labs. But
tough to do.
No symptoms. Calprotectin's been normal 3 or 4 times after that high calprotectin when we started. Normal stools. We also did some detoxes like a parasite cleanse.
Yeah, the wild of oregano is a lifesaver. I feel. I'm telling everyone, the wild of oregano. Everybody should be, drinking it.
We did a little bit of bacterial, candida, parasitic. We worked on stomach acid, liver, gallbladder.
Yeah.
And your body just did so well with it. And I think it's because your successes. We caught it early. You just got this diagnosis a few years ago. It was still not so terrible. With me, I was having 25.
It was a mild. They said it was a mild.
A mild case. So a lot of times.
But mild, geez, felt terrible.
Yeah.
Mild. I couldn't imagine. Being in your shoes, I was going through it.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing, but we try to turn pain into purpose. So
turn into purpose.
And one of the things I also want to finish off a little bit, because this is a great conversation. You've already shared so many great things, but one of the things we always talked about is how do we make this experience one of the best things that ever happened to you? we've always tied in the experience of the pain of Crohn's to how can that connect you and tie you in your music or your personal life goals and experiences.
Like this world will test you, honey.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
Have you seen that this has maybe helped you grow in other ways, like integrity in your personal life, relationships, your music, your connection to people?
Yeah, I mean, I had no option but to do this. Mm-hmm. So I kind of bring that into my other realm of work and stuff like that, is just to do what I gotta do and get it done. Mm-hmm. And don't cry about it, that as well. Integrity is a big one for us. We've been me going against my gut has been the big problem, because I don't want to go backwards. And tested with relationships. It's gone into my relationships, gone into who I want to be and what I want to teach to people, and how being like my sisters, they look up to me, and just being that person. And I think, that when it starts with health, it goes into every part of your life. So it has for me.
And I really want to ask this question around, how do you think it's helped you? How do you share as a woman that many people see? How do you share this with a significant other? How do you share this with people without it affecting how others may see you?
It's very natural now. It's not like I'm like shoving it down people's throat.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking at the door, like it's just, it's my lifestyle now. So it just radiates out of me, and people, So I remember I was talking to you about how all these people around me were shifting, like my brother and like all these people, my friends that live with me and all these things. And I wasn't doing anything to do that. I was just being me and what I was learning, and they were watching and just kind of like being a part of it. Like, naturally they wanted to do it because they saw how I was and how happier I was and how shiny I was, I guess, and just radiating this energy. And so people were just drawn to it. And that happened before, but it was very different once I started getting into this stuff. Like, it's changed. It just changed. I don't know what it is, but people were just like, I want to do this too.
So through this pain,
it wasn't like me like, do this. No, people were just doing it.
Through this pain, and you're talking about the way you're living, with the energy come off you, your discipline, your
character, they saw the difference.
Focus. Everyone around you felt it.
Oh yeah.
Gravitated towards you. Would you say you feel you're happier in your life, you're more empowered?
Oh, I feel so much
now
happier
than ever
empowered.
Before.
Oh, than ever
before. Before you were ever sick.
Oh yeah, and I've been powerful.
You want to go back to how you used to?
No, absolutely.
No interest.
Even if I wasn't sick, even if I wasn't sick, like, no, the energy that it forced in me to do whatever we did was the energy that I need to keep, and it's just gonna grow and be even better.
I love that. That's exactly what I want. I feel the same way. I would never go back to how I was before I got sick. That sickness gave
the sickness doesn't even mean anything. And you're like, at that point, you're not even thinking of it. You're like, just the energy that I have in myself, like, it's different. And it's radiating on other people. It kind of reminds me of a religion, you know, how people are like, do this, do this, and it like shoves down your throat. But like when they're just living in their own power, and you see that, and you see that confidence, you see where it's guiding them, you see how happy they are, you see all this, you just kind of go gravitate towards that. That's how I feel.
The good divine gravitate instead of the fear-based, I have to do this. That's where we are. And that's freedom, is that perspective.
Freedom, baby.
Last piece of advice, what would you give to any other woman out there who's been suffering? Maybe they're an artist, maybe they travel a lot, they've been suffering with Crohn's colitis, they've been suffering with shame, not feeling sexy in their body, not feeling heard by people, not fearful they're going to lose their careers. What would be your piece of advice for them?
I mean, the only advice I got is to call up this dude. Because people you can learn it like you, but go through all the difficult things. But I think you do need somebody to guide you. It's not something that's just going to, I know this now, or no, you're going to have someone like Dane to come in and teach you, or his people teach you like what it is and what's going on and how to pay attention to your body. I mean, I don't think that I would have gotten better. Religion wouldn't have done this for me necessarily either. Like, it would have taken a lot longer. No, I just feel like it wouldn't have really happened.
You could have taken 20 years. And I think a lot of people out there who've been suffering for 20, 30 years, that can happen. We just get stuck and you're in that same spot for 20 years.
Yeah, and you don't know why.
You don't know how to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shit, it's just Dane, to be honest. I don't got no other advice for you.
So what I would say to anyone out there who's suffering right now and has been touched by Lexy's story, being someone who coached her and watched her, is be coachable and be willing to change.
Oh yeah, you got to listen, because there were things that he's saying that I'm just like, I'm not ready. I'm not, nope. But yeah, you got to be coachable. And I'm not that coachable. I don't like to listen to people.
I think you did a great job.
I did a great job with you though.
You know, I know a lot of us, it's really hard to change our diets and stuff, but she immediately was like, do it. Yes.
Very strict on it.
Move. And she acted, she didn't miss it. She didn't eat stuff she wasn't supposed to.
And now I'm benefiting all the
she went
good
for
things.
it, and she was and just did it. And that was really hard for a lot of people, but
it is.
And just say yes. And it's not easy. You need to find someone that you have trust and integrity with. Okay.